Hi guys, how are you doing? I'm Tania and I am from Mexico. I have been living here already for like around 6 to 7 years, and there's a lot of things that I believe that have changed on me. I mean, of course, everybody changed with the pass of the years, like with the pass of the time. We all change and become different persons from what we were, let's say, 5 years ago. We mature, etc. But when you live in another country, you also change, and things that you used to do or things that you didn't used to do change on your life. So here are some things that have changed on my persona ever since I started living in Finland, or after I started living in Finland. One of the first things that I immediately noticed, well, not immediately, but now that I think about it, I can think about this first, is the time. I am from Mexico, and of course, as you know, or like there's like a big stereotype of Mexican people being late all the time, and I don't blame you. And I think we Mexicans really are late all the time. But you know, in Mexico, it is like a cultural thing. Like if you say that you're gonna meet a person, like if you're gonna meet a friend at 4 o'clock, it's known without like being spoken that you're going to be there like half an hour later. So in Finland, if you ever do that, it will actually be rude to the other person not to show up at the time that you are supposed to. So yeah, that's something I have definitely noticed on my behavior and on my persona, that my time perspective have changed. Like I like to be early nowadays, and I like to be on time. Something that was like super weird for me when I came here, well, it was just like this one comment from one of my host parents, that when I was an exchange student, one of my host families noticed how I was having my music all the time as a teenager. You know, like you have your music with you like everywhere, your MP3 and stuff. And one of the places that I used to take my music to was the sauna. Of course, like for me, it was like the sauna, have like, you know, like a time to relax and have like my nice music, you know, like some rock in there, some pop. And my father, my host father, noticed that, and then he came to me one day and he asked me like, you know, Tania, in Finland we appreciate the silence, and then he explained me all this about like silence is gold. So I was quite like not understanding what he's saying. I was like, but why would you like to be silent to have silence on the sauna? And now, 5 years later, I can actually say I understand why. I have learned myself to enjoy the silence and just to like be by myself sometimes, like on the sauna, and then just like listening to the sound of the steam of the lolu. And I think that's something that has also changed on me, that now I have learned how to appreciate silence, and I didn't do that before. Something awful that has changed on my brain, and well, I'm trying to like practice on that right now, it's the way I read Spanish. And that's like really bad. Like, I mean, I live in Finland, and now that I was in Mexico, I really got to practice my Spanish again. But I don't speak Spanish in a daily basis, and with my husband we always speak English. So when I went back to Mexico, or sometimes when I'm reading a book in Spanish, then I tend to change the words into Finnish. Like I read Spanish in Finnish way. Polo. I read pollo as polo. Pollo in Spanish means chicken. What is like chicken, and you will just say pollo. But like I remember just being on the street, we were walking, and there was like this big advertisement of chicken, And then I like start reading like polo something, and I'm like, what polo, like polo like playing or something. And then I was like, pollo, yeah, that's right. Or ahora. Then ahora is like now, but then back then I was just reading like ahora, like ahora, what is ahora? Like just let me think, what it was ahora. Like, of course that doesn't exist in Spanish. So my brain has somehow changed, and then like sometimes I read Spanish in a Finnish way, and that's really, really bad. Another thing that I guess that has changed on me is my tolerance to alcohol. To be honest, when I was in Mexico, I did not drink that much alcohol. In fact, I probably only drink alcohol during the Christmas holidays when, like, you know, parents can like give you some cider and stuff like that. But in general, I started drinking more when I came to Finland, and my tolerance was 0 to 1 cider per night. Like, I could really get tipsy after like half a beer or cider, because I don't really like beer. However, nowadays I can proudly say that I can take 3 beers, 2 to 3 beers. Okay, that will be like enough for me just to like already feel a little bit tipsy. But yeah, like, I mean, I have increased my alcohol tolerance, and that's something I will have probably not reached if I will not be in Finland, since the drinking culture is pretty heavy here. And the last thing, but I consider it as the most important thing that has changed on me after living abroad for so many years, is that my tolerance to other cultures and my respect to other people has also increased. I mean, even though I am from Mexico, I don't necessarily feel Mexican all the way. I remember my roots, I remember who I am every day, and then I'm really grateful for all the knowledge and like growing in a country like Mexico. However, living in Finland for so many years have like gave me so much that I also feel very identified with Finnish culture nowadays. And I guess what I want to say is like, I just don't feel exactly, like I don't particularly feel part of any of the places. Like, I don't feel either totally Mexican or I don't feel Finnish, but I feel like I'm like a combination of both, and I just don't feel like I belong anywhere, but I belong here in this earth. Well, there's a term for this, and it's called cosmopolitan. And cosmopolitan means like citizen of the world. So I guess I feel like a citizen of the world because I have learned so many things from different cultures, and I don't believe on borders. Like, I don't believe like we should be considered like different races, and I feel like we should be considered like just one race, like we're like the human race. And I think that's one of the biggest things I have learned after living in another country for many years. So thank you for watching the video, and if you have any type of feelings, or if you have ever lived in another country and you feel the same, let me know in the comments down below, and see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.